So we're going to be replacing a trunk latch on a 2018 Ford Edge. This is a flat tip pocket screwdriver I use to pop off this plastic cover on the handle area. Just pops right out. Two 7mm are up inside the two holes. And grab a 1/4" drive extension with a 7mm. I use a magnetic socket, but you can use any kind of 7mm socket. And then I will grab my electric impact driver to pull them out, one in each side. Having trouble getting on the 7mm head, but eventually I got it. Now that I got that out, I will actually pop the sides off. Be very careful because one side pops in and then the outside pops out. You can see how I do two different motions here. I pull in right here, and then I pull out. After I get it loose, I just grab the back of it, or actually the top by the window, pull it down, unclip the wire that goes to the actual trunk shut button before you pull it down, because you'll break it if you don't. This is the latch assembly. That was me capturing my thumbnail. Here's your part number. FA1Z7. Well, you can go back and look at it. I didn't catch. I'm trying to do a voiceover because there was a lot of music in the back and a lot of noise. So it's easier for me to do a voiceover than it is for me to let everything play and you hear all the racket in the background. Now, basically, there's 3 bolts that hold the latch in the back of the trunk. This is a T40. I use a Mac Torx setup. This is just a Torx socket. T40. Break it loose with my 3/8 ratchet, and then I finish it with my electric ratchet, pulling them out. So I break the 3 T40s loose, and then I go over here and grab my electric Milwaukee. No, this is actually my electric Mac 3/8 drive ratchet. And then it just basically slides up and out of there, and then you undo the 2 connectors that go to the latch on the side. Here's the old one, out with the old, going back in with the new. So now we're going to put the new one in, basically drop in, put your 3, actually plug your connectors in first. Look and check and make sure there's no debris in the end of them. Make sure everything's good. Pop it back in the hole. Go ahead and snug your T40s back down. They're not very tight to begin with. Just get a nice snug on them. You'll be okay. There's 3 of them. I'll show you here. They're impact rated. One on each side and then one on the face. Start with my fingers so you don't screw anything up, and then finish it with your electric ratchet or your hand ratchet, whatever you got. From start to finish, this only takes about 7-8 minutes. You know, and I'm recording while doing this, and it still took me only about, like 8 minutes, 9 minutes total. I just snug them up real good. I'm going to put my cover back up here. Make sure you plug in your trunk release or your trunk close switch. Plug it in first. It's kind of tricky getting these things aligned because they want to fight you the whole time while you're doing it. So you see, I struggle a little bit here to get everything lined back up, and then all of a sudden it just all comes together. You got to really slide in the back part first, but you got to get up You can take those plastic pieces up front off if you want, but I don't like to do that because it's so easy to break the plastic tabs that go into the body. You hear it just keeps wanting to fall on me, and it's not cooperating very well on the sides. But again, I'd rather struggle a little bit than pull those out and break those plastic clips and then not have any to put back in. I finally get it up and over and then almost situated. Still fighting me. Now I'll go over here to this side and pull it down and underneath it. Once I get it all situated, I kind of go around putting pressure throughout the entire piece of plastic because there are clips everywhere. Get it all snapped back in, and then get my two 7mm screws put back in the handle area so it can help hold everything. Snap, snap, snap. Just put pressure all across the surface to snap everything in. It's just easier that way because if you don't, some pieces won't snap back in. When you have it off, you can actually see how many pieces snap into the back and why it's important to do exactly what I just did. This is I'm using a Milwaukee 1/4" drive bit impactor. Really love this thing. I've had it for a few years now and it just works great. I take my cover and basically snap it back in over the handle to dress everything back up. Give it a nice little tap. You ain't gonna break anything. It'll be fine. And then go ahead and snap your sides in. What I do is I line the inner panel up and then kind of pull everything else over and snap it in. And now I'm going to bump over here and do the same thing on the other side. See, inside first, and then I go to the outside, push it in. Just rechecking to make sure everything's fitting back in the spot where it goes. Get all my tools out of the trunk, and then actually try it, make sure everything works. Good news is it worked great. The reason I did this is because this customer has been having some intermittent issues where that latch assembly in the back is actually malfunctioning and sometimes it doesn't want to work. So I finally got an error code saying it's switch position open, something's wrong internally inside that mechanism. So I just pushed it, went down, go back up for a full sweep on its own, and then back down again just to make sure everything works and it pulls in properly. And everything functions fine. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your day.